The level of hypocrisy on that side of the House is nothing short of astonishing. The Prime Minister is literally jet-setting around the world on his gas-fueled jet. And the House Minister says, you know what, kids, you can't go on a family trip because it will cause the planet to burn. We have the simplest common sense motion right now that will save Ontario families $592. That might mean nothing to them, but it means a lot. So will they listen, have some compassion, and axe the tax so families can make memories and enjoy their time together?
Yeah! The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change.
Except that the savings that the Conservative Party of Canada is claiming are simply not true, Mr. Speaker. Let me quote Dan McTeague, a former Liberal MP but a vocal opponent to our policies, and including carbon pricing, and no fan of mine, I might add, Mr. Speaker. He said when asked about that proposal from the Conservative Party, he said, and I quote, "I'm in the wilderness, Mr. Speaker." He said that there's no way that the savings that they're claiming, and he's at the head of the Canadians for Affordable Energy, there's no way that the savings that they're claiming are true, one. And number two, it would cost the government billions of dollars of taxpayers' money. So where are they going to cut, Mr.
The Honourable Member from Peterborough-Kawartha.
Mr. Speaker, nobody believes a word that side of the House says. They have completely lost trust in Canadians. They've caused chaos. They've caused crime. They've caused complete despair. Despair. People are using food banks at the highest record level they've ever used in their life. Nobody believes what they're saying. 35 cents a litre at the pumps? Do you know what that will save? Cost to ship the food. It will allow families to actually feed their families, and most importantly, will take off the stress that is creating mental health crises in this country. So while they stand over there and say that, we will fight for this. Will they?
Yeah! The Honourable Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable colleague led her question saying that nobody believes what anyone in the government has to say. It's not us who's saying it. Mr. Speaker, one of the people who spent tens of thousands of dollars to take Conservative MPs on a junket to London to wine and dine them so they would be his mouthpiece in this chamber is saying that he's lost in the wilderness. Mr. Speaker, there are academics who have studied their proposal, the cost savings they say will accrue to families, that would say you had to go to the North Pole, to the South Pole and back in order to make that a reality. She started her question before, Mr. Speaker, talking about hypocrisy. I'd remind her once again she votes against the measures that she shows up for the announcements for in her riding.
The Honourable Member from Foothills.
This NDP Liberal Prime Minister loves to jet set around the world on his luxury vacations, but then stick the taxpayers with the bill. Meanwhile, the Liberal Health Minister is telling Canadians you cannot take a summer vacation or the planet will burn. This hypocrisy is ridiculous, and it's just not true. Conservatives have a common sense plan to axe all federal gas taxes until Labour Day, ensuring that Canadians can take their families on a summer vacation. Will the Liberal NDP Prime Minister stop his hypocrisy, stop his radical policies, axe the tax so Canadians can take their summer holiday?
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Well, Mr. Speaker, maybe it's the definition of a family road trip. For me, a family road trip is a few hundred kilometers. For the Conservatives, it's 44,000 kilometers in order to realize the benefit that they're selling. That's a pretty big difference. But I'll tell you, well, they were spending the weekend trying to cut YouTube clips for Instagram or Facebook so that they could try to misrepresent an issue as important as climate change. I can tell you, I was talking to the seniors that they want to deny dental care to. I was talking to the people who need pharmacare. And of course, their focus, Mr. Speaker, is on not facts, but in misrepresenting issues, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Foothills.
Here's the facts, Mr. Speaker. I was at a seniors' home in Claresholm this weekend where they're seeing their rent increase 5% to cover the cost of the carbon tax. This is forcing seniors to make very difficult choices, either stay in their home, afford food, or find other accommodations. Those are the facts. Common sense Conservatives are putting forward a plan that will save 35 cents a litre for Canadians. This will save Alberta families $955 this summer. Will the out-of-touch Liberals support the common sense Conservative plan to axe the tax so Canadians can take a well-deserved summer vacation with their family?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
You know what is really hypocritical, Mr. Speaker? It is running on Erin O'Toole's carbon tax plan and then doing a 180-degree pivot. But let's talk about some stuff we can agree on. I think we all agree we want the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup. And I think we can all agree that Danielle Smith is a true blue conservative. So how do the Conservatives reconcile that with the fact that she has raised the tax on gas by 13 cents a litre?
L'honorable député de...
The Honourable Member for Mégantic-L'Érable. Mr. Speaker, it's beautiful weather today. Parents will want to organize trips for their kids and have some good family time. But unfortunately, this Prime Minister's inflationary spending supported by the Bloc Québécois means that 54% of households have changed their plans because of the cost of living. People don't want to pay more at the pump like this radical bloc wants. They want to pay less and have more fun. Will the Prime Minister help the 65% of Quebecers who will be road tripping this summer in their car? Will the Liberals vote to suspend federal gas taxes over the summer? Yes or no? The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Conservatives don't seem to understand basic math. So between Matane and Baton Rouge, it's 2,800 kilometers, like it says in the song. That's about 30 hours of driving. So to get from Matane to Baton Rouge, well, you'd actually have to make that trip about 4 times. As I'm pointing out each individual time, about 5 times. That would be your road trip. This is complete nonsense.
L'honorable député de Mégantic-L'Érable.
The Honourable Member for Mégantic-L'Érable. Well, Mr. Speaker, people can't even get to Matane in the first place because of these liberal taxes. The Minister of Health really missed the boat last week and blamed kids. He said, I have good news for kids. They'll be able to have fun on their summer vacation. They'll be stuck in a car for 10 days in a row with no bathroom breaks. I'm sure they'll enjoy that while the planet is burning. Instead of attacking kids and parents, will the Prime Minister call his minister to order and vote for our common sense motion of suspending the gas tax over the summer? The Honourable Minister of the Environment and Climate Change. Mr. Speaker, in order to benefit from the savings that the Conservative Party is claiming, you would have to drive 320 hours over the holidays. I don't know how much time the Conservatives think that people have for their vacation. I'm talking about 320 hours in a row driving, no bathroom breaks, no time to go look at the landscape. It's complete nonsense. It's really quite something.